Hello YouTube, welcome to another bi-weekly DIF Chat. So today I'm joined by Emma Fromberg, the informal learning lead here at the Ellen MacArthur Foundation and about to enter a third DIF this year. Quick reminder what we're doing here, we're trying to give you a little bit more of a build-up, a little bit of background to the DIF as we begin the ramp-up phase. We launched at the summit at the end of June, at 2018, Ellen MacArthur Foundation's 2018 summit at the end of June. We're now beginning to build our speaker lineup. We've got the Apply to Speak out, so we're catching up with members of the DIF team, we're talking about the themes, we're talking about the speakers, and we're trying to bring that all to you via Facebook and YouTube. And so apologies if we have any technical hiccups along the way. We're sort of in a beta format with this, a beta testing format at the moment, but hopefully enjoying our content, and let us know what you think and if you have any questions or any suggestions what we can do to make it even more valuable for you. Okay, so today we're going to be chatting to Emma. We're going to find out a bit more about Emma. We're going to put her through our now famous quickfire question round.
Oh dear.
We're going to be exploring one of the DIF's key topics this year, design and materials, which Emma is a especially good person to talk to about because of her background and current focus. And we're going to be reminding you about all the different things you can do on the DIF website right now, so that if you want to head over there, you can. Okay, so I was thinking, Emma, especially as I had you on the show today, that we're entering the 5th year of the DIF, and we don't actually boast about the format all that much. We don't talk about what we've created.
Only internally.
Only internally, and we're about to change that, because it strikes me that not only are we an event that is talking about innovation and examples of innovation, we've also been an event that has strived to be innovative in itself in providing a really accessible, really affordable and pragmatic way of people all over the world accessing content that's hopefully inspiring, that showcases example innovation and starts conversations. And that's fantastic, and obviously you've been a big part of that for the last 2 years.
Yeah, and basically anybody with a good idea or an innovator can use the platform for free and can contact us and organize a session. So it's really cool.
And last year was, so you've been with people who obviously recognize you, will obviously recognize you from the DIF sessions you've done. Last year you ran the entire 3 weeks in terms of you were the DIF program manager on the floor, and that's continuing. The previous year you were also heavily involved. Have you seen like a dramatic, do you feel different about it now than 2 years ago? What have you seen it evolve, I guess?
Yeah, of course, and that's always like, I'm a designer by background, so I got on the case with the intent of transforming it towards something more sophisticated, and hopefully we took steps in that space, especially around the website. If you look at the 2016 website and then compared to last year's, we made a major improvement on that. And this year, again, we will include more improvements, especially around the usability and around formats. And we have a new program manager, Kinga Gardine, who is doing an awesome job. So I'm sure that, we will surprise our viewers with all the awesome improvements.
Kinga, a previous guest on this bi-weekly DIF chat. You said you're a designer by background. Tell us a little bit how your journey before you started the DIF, before you became part of the DIF team.
Yeah, so I was involved at Delft University of Technology, and their circle.
You studied there, right? As well?
I studied there, and then I started working there. I always have been involved with education projects. I also did I was a physics teacher actually in 2013, and I rolled into this role at Delft University of Technology, where we created the very first Circular Economy MOOC, a massive open online course. We launched it in 2015, and it's currently still available on edX.org. It's free and accessible for everybody. So it just had a major refurb. So if people want to learn more about circular economy, they can go there. And that was also in collaboration with the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. Yep. So that's how I met you guys, and that's how the foundation stole me from.
So you were a physics teacher. What led you to design? How did you end up? What inspired you about design, or what was the connection to design?
Yeah, I think design is a very applied way of, you really create something, and you create something new. It has a very creative element to it. but also very functional performance element. So I like the combination between creativity, form, and function. And I really enjoyed studying and having a small startup that was design driven as well. But now I mostly enjoy like really the design of educational content, what I primarily am focused on here at the foundation. And yeah, that's kind of now how I try to include my design.
And more recently, you've been involved in a piece of work with the foundation specifically focused on materials design and as an educational tool.
Yeah, and that was quite new to me actually. I wasn't a material specialist or expert, and I went through this entire journey with Cradle to Cradle Products Innovation Institute, and in collaboration with them, we created 4 new modules for the Circular Design Guide. So that's our open and free tool for designers. You can find it on circulardesignguide.com, and we will launch 4 new modules in September around safe and circular products.
And of course, design and materials is always a big theme at the DIF. I know you've hosted several sessions on the subject. Many of our most preeminent speakers are experts on that sphere. It's a very crucial thing for the circular economy. It's a key topic of the DIF this year. What can our viewers expect in terms of the content?
So I'm not sure. I think we haven't launched any names yet that will speak at the DIF on this topic. So I won't say too much about that, but just about, materials and design in general. At the moment in our linear economy, the products and materials that we use, we lose. And in a circular economy, we make an attempt to close that loop and to avoid leakage of materials. And on the one hand, you have this very interesting field of where you see materials as an enabler for that. And on the other hand, you also see all these new types of materials, these very disruptive materials that have the potential to change our lives and really transform the economy as well. So we will be touching upon many different aspects of materials in design and in products.
I think it's, we're in agreement that it's an underappreciated part of the economy, the importance of materials.
Do you underappreciate? I don't underappreciate it.
I don't. I think when it comes to like the economic narratives and the stories that we read, the importance of material flowing through the economy and how we judge the value of that and design our products, services and businesses around our material flows is underappreciated. Or at least maybe undervalued is a better word than underappreciated. You don't really need to appreciate your materials.
Yeah, I think it's also very complex. I think it's especially the materials that we use nowadays are not just the material, but there are a lot of chemicals that we use for performance reasons. So actually knowing what kind of material you use in a design, or what type of material this shirt is made of, is already a bit more complex than you actually think, because you have the dyes and all of that. So it's complex, but it's very interesting, a very interesting field in design, and there's so much opportunity there and so much movement there.
That's what always strikes me about any conversation. Like we do a lot of work. There's a lot of stories right now about plastics. Is that materials seem like there's an innovation point there. We've innovated a lot to get to where we are now with all with even the clothes we wear are quite remarkable material innovations in many ways, and so I always feel quite optimistic and positive that there's the potential just to keep innovating to get the better overall outcomes that we want for the future as well.
There's also a systems piece around that. So you cannot you cannot make the perfect material, or I believe we won't be able to do that. I think we also need to look at the entire system and how materials come back to the economy, because if we have a great material and at the end of the use you're going to incinerate it or put it to landfill, you just wasted an incredible material. So it's about the entire process and how you use it, how it comes back, and how it's being reused.
Great. So design and materials, one of our key topics for this year's DIF. The other two are cities in transition and people and the economy. Have a look at all those at thinkdiff.co. We will be talking about more of these themes on following DIF Chats and of these key topics, but also there are other topics obviously all listed on our website. So now we have our now famous, or at least I'm calling it famous, Quickfire question round with Emma. We get to find out a little bit more about members of the DIF team. I'm sure if you have been following us, these are all available still to watch on Facebook and YouTube, so if you want to compare them, some of them as answers to other people's, you can. Okay, so
Bring it on,
the basic rule of this, Emma, is that these are quick fire questions, so no thinking about it, no pause and like, oh, what am I going to say? It's just instant answers.
Okay,
so,
okay.
And there's 10.
10.
So,
that's a lot.
What is your favourite hobby?
Kickboxing.
Okay, don't mess with you. Favourite book?
Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
And what is Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance?
It's a fiction, and it's like a philosophical novel. Yeah, it's really
check it out.
Yeah.
Favourite designer?
Product designer.
Anyone, any design. Well, if it's product designer, that's cool.
Dieter Rams.
Dieter Rams.
Less
Yeah,
is
the
more.
famous Dieter Rams.
Yeah.
Favourite place to visit in the world?
South Africa. Yes.
And you've been there, obviously.
Yes.
Are you an early morning riser or a late night owl?
Doesn't exist then. Neither is. So if you get 8 hours of sleep at night, you are a princess in the morning. And
I had some warning that you may be difficult with this question. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Dogs. The best diff session you've hosted?
Hosted.
Hosted.
I was a guest. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts.
So that was with Colin last year, and it was on a circular economy, like 101, like a basic session. It was very funny. It was also with a interactive diagram, so people could.
I remember it
like,
well. Yes.
Yeah.
It is available still on our YouTube channel.
Is it?
Yes. So if you search, I think if you search "Intro to Circular Economy" or something like that, you will find Emma and Colin's evening of fun. Should we call it?
It was a good one. It was a good one.
Best diff session you've watched?
So there are multiple. I really like the differentiaries from last year. So the one with Walter Stahel, Ken Webster, and those were really kind of pieces of content that we put a lot of time and effort in to make them right. So I really like those.
Yeah, the film series, always a good favourite. Definitely all still available on the website, on our YouTube channel. Clips are circulating on various social media channels. If you haven't seen those yet, they really are worth a watch. They're only about 15 minutes each.
Yeah,
they're
less than
good
20.
watch.
Yeah.
Okay, would you rather live in a giant desert or in a giant dessert?
I like chocolate.
You want to live inside chocolate?
I would say my adventurous part would speak here. I would go to the desert.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what King has said as well. We're 2-1 at the moment for
desert.
Yes.
Nice.
Would you rather be able to speak to animals or all languages in the world?
Animals, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So that's a quick intro to Emma. Quick fire question round. Quick reminder that we will be doing these every 2 weeks with different DIF team members every week. Right now on the DIF website, if you're an innovator, if you have an idea to share, if you have an innovation to share, you want to contribute to the DIF in some way, we've got that call to action out. So go to the DIF website, click this apply to speak thing, that's button that's at the top of the website, and it says quick form to fill in. Some of our early speakers are announced as well, so you can check them out. And we also have the DIF 2017 playlist if you want to get an idea of what kind of content we've had in the past, what's the DIF all about. But thank you very much, Emma, for spending this few minutes with me this afternoon, and thank you for everyone who tuned in. We'll see you again soon.
Bye.